When you look back on the FNAF series, no matter which game you play or which book you read or whatever, you will notice that there is a repeating theme throughout all of them, the missing children's incident, which most FNAF fans have shortened to the MCI. The missing children's incident is known as the night there was a birthday party at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and one of the owners of Freddy's, known as William Afton, put on his spring Bonnie suit. He then lured each of the children one at a time into a secret room in the pizzeria known as the safe room. This room was designed specifically for equipment that is not being used in the pizzeria, and it is a room only employees are supposed to have access to. When William lured each of the kids in the safe room, he stabbed each of them, but not to the point where the kids died. Then, later that night, William hid the bodies inside the animatronics. The kids died inside the suits they were stuffed into. The police searched Freddy's, but they never found any of the kids because they never thought to check inside the animatronics. The kids' bodies being in the animatronics trapped each of the kids' spirits inside them as well, causing the kids to possess the animatronics. As William Afton says,
"The spirit follows the flesh, it would seem, and also the pain."
This is what ends up being the entire plot of the first FNAF game. We are working at the pizzeria many years later, after the incident. The animatronics are still haunted and in a confused state. Their story is also what creates the plot of the Silver Eyes and the FNAF movie, both of which are their own version of FNAF 1's story. The Silver Eyes being FNAF 1 reimagined into a new story, and the movie basically being the plot of FNAF 1, but as a movie. Both the Silver Eyes and the movie give us information on how the kids actually think when inside the animatronics. In the Silver Eyes, John says that the animatronics will definitely attack William because he is their killer. Of course they would attack the man who murdered them, right? But William responds to this.
"They don't remember. They've forgotten. The dead do forget."
Throughout both the FNAF games and books, a constant theme we see when it comes to spirits is that they have amnesia. They have no idea how they died. They have no idea what happened to their soul after they died. Sometimes a spirit isn't even aware of the fact that they are dead. They just know the world around them has changed and they can't figure out why. Vanessa even reminds us in the movie that the kids don't remember what happened to them.
He took everything from them, but they don't remember.
The Silver Eyes tells us the reason William killed those kids in the first place. It was his twisted way of love. See, the books tell us William Afton started Fazbear Entertainment with a man named Henry Emily. Henry was the one to think of the idea for Fazbear Entertainment. He had a passion for entertaining children. Henry was also an expert in robotic engineering and wanted to combine that with his love for making children happy. Henry built the main animatronics, Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. He also built the two yellow Springlock suits, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was Henry's way of giving love. Building the animatronics was him giving love. However, his business partner also had some ideas when it came to love. We learn in the Silver Eyes that William Afton would write in his journal of how much he actually hates Henry. He was jealous of everything Henry created. He was jealous of Henry's success. However, in his journal, that jealousy changes into worship. He was jealous, but also fascinated by the kind of animatronics Henry was capable of building. The only way to really outdo Henry is by actually giving the animatronics life. Quotes from William in the Silver Eyes.
"I helped him create. We both wanted to love. Your father loved, and now I have loved. They are home with me, their happiest day."
The kids are basically an animatronic family now, created by William. They are in a happiest day-like state, stuck inside the pizzeria and forced inside their animatronic prisons. We even see in the fourth closet the kids aren't aware of the fact that they are dead, except for Golden Freddy, which I'll get back to in a bit. The kids are now stuck in their own animatronic prisons, knowing they are in a new messed up life, but they don't exactly know how they ended up in this life. Meaning all they have now is each other and the pizzeria. The animatronics are just kids who are scared and confused, but William doesn't stop there. He turned the kids into their own family, but then he manipulates them into killing others.
You have to understand the kids, they don't want to hurt anyone. It's him. He influences them somehow. The yellow rabbit, he controls them.
Again, in the Silver Eyes, John tells William that he won't be hurting anyone else, to which William responds,
I don't have to. When it gets dark, they will awaken. The children's spirits will rise. They will kill you. I'll just walk out in the morning, stepping over your corpses, one by one.
Jessica then insists that they will kill William too, but he rejects this idea.
No, I'm quite confident that I will survive.
The animatronics specifically attack grown-ups. They were hurt by an adult, so when it comes to adults, their trust in them is very shaken.
All they know is that you are here, trying to take away their happiest day. You are intruders. You are grown-ups.
William even says the only reason they don't kill him is
because I am one of them.
William has made himself like them by wearing the Spring Bonnie suit. We see in the Silver Eyes and in the movie that the children listen to William when he wears the Spring Bonnie suit. In both the movie and the novels, there is a drawing of Spring Bonnie holding hands with the kids. This manipulates the kids' memories to make them think that Spring Bonnie is their friend and that they should listen to him. Since this drawing exists in both the novels and the movie, it's pretty likely this drawing also exists in the games. Another interesting thing to point out is, in the novels, it was the Golden Freddy kid that drew it, when Spring Bonnie hadn't lured all the kids away yet, and was still acting as their friend. If Golden Freddy drew this in the novels, I think we can say the same for the movie and the games as well. As Spring Bonnie, William tells each of the kids that they need to protect their happiest day, that being their current life in the pizzeria and as the animatronics. He convinces the kids that all adults are threats and that adults will try to hurt them, which is why in the games, the animatronics are constantly attacking the security guards. Even when the place is open during the day, they are suspicious of adults. Phone Guy calls this out specifically.
But the characters have been acting very unusual, almost aggressive towards the staff. They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare.
Which also means that in FNAF 1, you are literally playing through the results of what William wanted to happen in the first place. FNAF 1 is basically just showing us that William got exactly what he wanted. We do see that the animatronics are okay with kids being around. They don't see kids as a threat. In the Silver Eyes, Charlie and her friends had a younger kid with them named Jason. The animatronics, like with any adult, assume that Charlie and her friends were here to hurt them, and maybe even Jason, so they would attack Charlie and her friends. Foxy even took Jason and tried protecting him. However, the kid inside Golden Freddy, who goes by the name Michael Brooks, was friends with Charlie, John, Jessica, Lamar, Marla, and he was best friends with Carlton. Golden Freddy was able to tell the others that Charlie and her friends weren't there to hurt them, and the animatronics stopped attacking. In the movie, the animatronics don't attack Mike because of Abby. We see in the first scene where Mike properly meets the animatronics that at first, Freddy looks angry. We can see his eyes start to turn red. Freddy then marches over towards Mike to the point Mike picks up a chair.
Abby!
Freddy stares at Mike angrily, ready to fight, until Abby casually introduces Mike as her brother. Then, Freddy calms down.
Freddy, this is my brother, Mike.
Abby introduces Mike to the others, but we see Freddy still look at him curiously.
Come on, I want you to meet the others.
The movie novel even goes further into that. All the animatronics were curious about Mike. Mike was still ultra wary, but the other 3 animatronics seemed to find Mike as interesting as Freddy did. They eyed him with what truly looked like eager curiosity. The animatronics don't attack Mike because they see that Abby trusts him to the point where she makes him the center of 9 out of 10 of her drawings. However, Mike can tell the animatronics don't like him.
I don't think they like me very much.
The animatronics are neutral on Mike until Abby gets upset and scribbles Mike out of most of her drawings. It's only after that when the kids now think Mike wants to hurt Abby and they attack him. Then to make things worse, William tells the kids they need to make Abby like them, and things get really bad. Something cool is that the missing children's incident was so big that it actually gave life to the Freddy's building itself. Here's what William says.
They built up around where Freddy Fazbear's was, but when it came to it, no one would release the restaurant. You know, because of what happened. So, someone had the bright idea of sealing the whole place up, intact. Someone who had a sentimental attachment to it, perhaps. I don't think they even tried to clear it out. But it wasn't enough. Something about that place spilled over into the rest of the building. Maybe right down into the soil. No one wanted to bring their business here. Sometimes business owners, franchises from outside the town would come and look at the place. But they never signed the papers. Said it didn't feel right. I think it's got an aura, a mystical energy. Maybe, if you believe in that sort of thing.
Freddy's has a mystical energy. Charlie also can tell that the pizzeria has its own aura. Charlie remained motionless, more than aware of how much noise she had just made.
Does it know we're here?
She wondered, realizing as she did that, by it, she meant the building itself. It felt as if Freddy's was conscious of their presence, as if it reacted to them like a living, breathing thing. She reached out to brush her fingers against its wall, tracing lightly as if she were petting it. The plaster was still cold, inanimate, and Charlie pulled her hand back. She wondered what Freddy's would do. This could explain how, in the game, sometimes carnival music will go off by itself, or we will hear random knocking. It also explains things like how posters and drawings change on the walls, or how newspaper clippings can randomly appear on the wall. The only other game where we see things like that happen is in FNAF 3, where stuff from the FNAF 1 building was brought into the FNAF 3 building, showing the entire FNAF 1 pizzeria itself is its own entity. It is alive. This being caused by the pain brought on to not only the kids, but their families, their friends' families. All this caused the pizzeria itself to come to life. Even in the movie, we see the pizzeria is alive. Lights flicker randomly. Messages like "it's me" appear on the mirror. Doors open and close by themselves. Doors will lock by themselves.
Hey!
Jeff?
The building even falls apart when the killer himself gets spring-locked. Now, when it comes to how aware the kids' spirits actually are, we see in the fourth closet that the kids aren't aware of the fact that they are dead. They just see themselves in a screwed up life. Golden Freddy, however, seems to be a bit different. In the Silver Eyes, Golden Freddy acts more aware of his surroundings and his situation. This carries over to the movie as well, where the actor who played the Golden Freddy kid, Grant Feely, confirmed his character was aware. His plan was to use Mike to get back at William.
Yeah.
All I really knew was that this kid was murdered by this guy, this really evil person that started this pizzeria, and he was lured in and he was murdered. And I kind of used that as my motive to get back at him, and I wanted to get back at him through Mike. And I kind of just used that, and I put that in my head, and I just went for it.
Unlike the others, Golden Freddy is aware of his situation, which I think explains his behavior being so different from the others. Think about it, in FNAF 1, Golden Freddy rarely attacks. He's an Easter egg character. The most he really does in FNAF 1 is kill the phone guy, who isn't exactly a good person anyway. Golden Freddy in FNAF 1 has a 1 in 100,000 chance of showing up. In FNAF 2, Golden Freddy only shows up on night 6 and night 7 too, but that's because we customize his AI. In Sister Location, he shows up in Funtime Auditorium, but not only is that a 1 in 1,000 chance, but he doesn't even attack you. In pretty much every game after that, Golden Freddy is shown actively helping the player. In the Silver Eyes, Golden Freddy doesn't attack anyone at all. In the movie, Golden Freddy isn't aggressive except for Aunt Jane, who, well, she's not really a good person anyway. Point is, Golden Freddy clearly doesn't feel like he needs to constantly attack people like the others do. He really only seems to attack people if that person is an inconvenience to him. So that's who the missing children are. It's how they think, feel, and it's the entire plot of the first game, first novel, and first movie. Now, what if I told you the entire FNAF series, literally everything we've gotten from Five Nights at Freddy's all the way to Help Wanted 2 revolves around the missing children, that the kids and William Afton are the center of the story? Well, I'm gonna have to explore that more in the next video, so if you like this one, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to Arcade Endo and Ollie for doing some lines for this video. Thank you all for watching. Bye everyone.